Hello, my name is Mary McCarthy, and I am the owner of Resilience and Grace. Today, I would like to talk to you about the pose Sukhasana, easy seated position. It is practiced many times and demonstrated in the beginning of a yoga class. I'd like to share just a few tips with you so that when you do take a comfortable seat to prepare for meditation or any pranayama practices, you can feel at ease in your body. So let's start with one of the first things to consider is how high to sit up on, and should you sit on a prop or not. One of the tips I really like to give students is to place their hands right here on the top of their hip bones. And if their knees, like if you have really tight hips, if your knees are higher than the tops of your hips, then it will feel very bound up deep in the groins and uncomfortable over time. So to sit on some kind of prop and allow the top of the hips to be higher than the knees gives the hips a chance to open up. So I'm sitting right now on two Mexican style blankets, and I have folded them in a way that makes a rectangular shape. For my body, I can sit on one blanket and my knees are still lower than my hips, but at times it still feels nice to sit on two blankets and to sit on them firmly, allowing myself to open up in the hips. Once you are in position with the height, and I have brought some other props you could consider like a bolster or even a meditation cushion if you do not have two firm blankets to fold. These are great tools and can offer some additional height if you want to sit on a bolster plus a blanket on top. Now, once you get the height established, we really start to look at the foundation in our feet. Many people will start with just crossing their ankles, but I would like to suggest crossing more mid-shin. When you cross at the shin, then the ankles and the heels can be positioned directly under the knees or so. By activating your feet, you are allowing the feet not to suckle or collapse. So you press through the inner edges of the heel to activate your feet. When you do that, the ankle bones closest to the floor lift up. And now you've established a tone to the pelvic floor and your lower body. You've created a nice firm foundation so that when you focus on breathing and sitting up tall, your spine can lengthen out of that position. Now, over time again, when you're starting out sitting cross-legged, you might be able to do it for a few minutes without pain. But when you're sitting for 5, 10, 15, or even 20 minutes, it can start to get uncomfortable. So another prop that I like to demonstrate are blocks. And blocks can be placed on the outside of the thighs. Now, traditionally, you would see students place a block so that the edges of the block were flat and your leg just kind of rested on that edge. Well, again, over time, that's not as comfortable. So you can balance the block on an edge and put the flat side against the legs. Now the blocks are at a diagonal and each block has 3 levels. So you could start at a low level, a mid level, or even a higher level, depending on how much support you would like. Okay, this is the foundation of Sukhasana. From here, you now begin to tone the pelvic floor, and you can even have a little lift, which is known as Mula Bandha. And then as you sit tall, put a nice gentle curve to your lower back, keep extending up through the spine, and your collarbones broaden so that the shoulder blades gently draw onto the back. Now, as you lengthen through the crown of your head, you drop your chin so that the eyes and the chin are level to the horizon. Place your hands somewhere on your thighs. Close your eyes and welcome your breath. You have now found your easy seated posture known as Sukhasana. Thank you for listening today, and I hope you'll join me again for another tip of the month. Namaste.